Good morning and welcome to Wellness with Terri. I'm sharing my morning practice with you. You can see the beautiful sunshine reflecting off me. So before we get started, I hope you're all doing well. Just a reminder that I cannot play music in the background of my video, so if you would like to turn on something soft and soothing and get ready, or maybe energizing since we're in the morning and it's a morning flow, you decide, but let's get ready. Take a moment. Get settled and let's find our breath. Closing our eyes, sitting up nice and tall. Connecting with our breath, deep, full inhales and exhales. As we gently and slowly bring our awareness inward to our bodies and our breath, we use those exhales to let go and those big, beautiful inhales to fill us with what we need. Taking a moment to think about what we do need this morning. Bringing the awareness to the crown of your head, keeping those eyes closed so you can feel your body from the inside. Just gently take a slow wave of awareness down from the crown through your face. Letting go tension and worry all the way down to your neck. And letting that awareness move down each arm, one at a time, from the top of the shoulder down to the fingertips. Bringing our awareness back to the top of our chest. Let softness and awareness move down from our backs, through our fronts, through everything in between. All the way down to our hips. And then from the top of each leg all the way down to the toes. Other side. Being aware of the whole body now. Just take a moment to think about your intention. Maybe your intention is twofold today. Something for you, something for the world or those you love. When your thoughts are gathered and you're ready to set your intention, find those 3 breaths. Here we go. And at the end of that 3rd breath, release. Keeping your eyes closed, begin to move your neck. We're going to turn our gaze side to side. And then we're going to take chin down and chin up. Nice stretch for the back of the neck. And when you're ready, ear to shoulder. Being gentle if you find tightness or tension in your neck. We're warming it up right now. Then move it any way that feels good to you. Adding some shoulder to it, whatever feels good. And then let's let's take above the hips, just moving your whole upper body around. Getting ready for the twist, sitting up tall, taking a gentle twist in each direction. Staying as long as it feels good to you, or moving as fast as you need to. When you're ready for a side stretch, place a hand down, inhale the opposite one up and over, and start going side to side. Continuing your deep and full breaths. We're going to come back to center next. Sit up tall, take those arms up. Move wrists and elbows, loosening. Maybe interlacing, lifting, stretching, and leaning. And then we're going to take one inhale up and bring it forward. Checking in with our hips and low back as we come forward. Maybe adding movement. Ready, lifting back up. We're going to start some shoulder motion. So you've got 3 to choose from: isolated shoulder rolls, elbow-led rolls, or full arms. So I'm going to start with elbows today. 5 in each direction. Here we go, sitting up tall. Continuing to breathe. Other direction. And choose your second motion. Beautiful. Now let's let our arms lead us into just a nice little swing, waking up across the back of the shoulders, warming up those arms. Moving into an arm stretch next. We're going to draw that elbow away from the shoulder, add some more neck if you need it. And then take it deeper with an interlace on the back or just one arm at a time. Other side. And deeper. Now let's open the chest, reaching behind, moving anything that might be in your way. We're going to pull the shoulders back and down. Either make fists at your tailbone, or you can stretch those arms out if you're able, or interlace the fingers. We're going to sit up tall. We're going to find that space between our shoulder blades. We're going to pulse that a little bit, opening the chest a little wider, warming those shoulder blades totally up. Breathing. And then we're going to release. Bring those arms out, thumbs up. We're going to do some seated cat-cows. So consider this your position getting ready for cow. Taking those shoulder blades back, opening up into cow, and then rounding forward into cat. So we sit up tall, open, curl back, exhale, cat. Let's do 2 more of those. And release, shake it out. All right, we're going to go right up to standing today. So work your way up to standing. Going to start by waking up those feet. Let's spread the toes and start to warm the feet. Lifting up, rocking back, whatever feels good. We're going to add a little more movement to this, making it a moving chair, lifting up, sinking back. Wonderful. Now let's lift up and sink back and hold our chair. Putting our weight to our heels, lifting our spine, waking up those quads. Find your breath. See if you can hold your position but lift up onto the balls of your feet, finding your balance. And release those heels down, taking it wide now. We're going to come wide on the mat. We're going to wake up ankles, knees, find our position here. Let's stretch out those inner legs, whatever you need to do before we move into our sunflowers. So making sure the knees go the same direction as your toes. You're not toeing inward with your knees. And here we go. Let's lift up. Sink it down, tilt it forward, sunflowers. One more, and then we're going to add some rotation. Of course, modify it if you need to. Don't do your rotation if that something is not feeling quite right today. Looking for big circles through the arms and shoulders and the hips. One more this way, and then we're going to change our direction and go the opposite way. So bend that knee, sweep that weight across. Two more. Sinking into goddess now. Knees follow the path of the toes. We lift the spine, elbows come out from shoulders, finding our strength here in goddess, closing our eyes so we can feel it. Breathe deeply. If you want to add a pulse, take that down. We're going to drop our hands lightly to our knees. We're not going to brace ourselves. We're just going to put our hands here on our knees and lift opposite heels. Continuing to wake up the feet. Adding a little Achilles and calf to that. And now if you want to make it a little more difficult, let's try both at the same time. Now we are going to brace ourselves. Take those knees wide, lower shoulder toward opposite knee, turn your gaze. Ooh. And then other side, whenever you're ready. Get that good stretch. All right, now bring those hands to the floor, turn those feet parallel, take the feet as wide as you need to. Lower that head. Start your stretch for your hamstrings. Nice loose neck, maybe even shaking it yes and no. All four corners of the feet are pressing down equally. Now, thinking about your body, either hold it here for the hamstring stretch, or if you need more, you can walk your hands to one side and then the other. You can come back to center and bend a knee, making the inner leg stretch a little more. Find your way through this stretch that helps you feel better. And then I'm going to walk it out, keeping my feet flat. I'm gonna walk it out, press those feet down and stretch the lower back of my legs here. And walking it back. We're gonna hop or heel toe our way to the center of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Feet are pointing forward, hips distance apart. Press into that block if you need to, or something to bring the floor closer, or just press into the floor with a little bit of a bend in your knee, whatever you need, just don't hang. Stretch. Take it to gorilla if you need more. And then we're going to lift up halfway, stretch that back out, keep the back of your neck long, maybe add some neck to it by turning your gaze side to side if you need to. Bend those knees, take it all the way up. Let's take one arm down, stretching in opposite directions. Other side. And release. All right, we're gonna wake up today with we're gonna wake up our hip flexors with some balance right from the start. So if you need a chair, grab your chair. If you need a wall, grab a wall. But we're gonna start just coming into one-legged balance. So we're gonna keep those hands at heart center today. So, shifting over to the right, let's raise our left leg up. If you wanna add arms all the way up to the sky, you're welcome to do that. Find an arm position that works for you. Find your balance. Breathe. You can change your arm position here or stay where you are. Knee goes out to the side and back to center. And then let's try one more, sending it out in front, drawing it up into your chest, or pressing away. Just really warming that hip flexor up before we add on. Nice, and release. Shake it out if you need to. Find the other side. Shifting left this time, we're gonna raise that right leg up, coming into one-legged balance. Finding your breath. Knee goes out to the side and back to center. And then we come back to center. And we're gonna go out, draw it in, press it out. Nice, and release. All right, stepping it to the front of the mat. Spreading those toes. Checking in with the distance between your toes for room for 2 fists. Plugging in that awareness to your feet. And then the lower legs, inward spiral of the lower legs. Feeling your core engaged, shoulders come up, back, and down. We're gonna reach for the floor, waking up those arms. Back of the neck is long as we find our breath. Take a moment to bring your intention to the forefront of your mind as you breathe and become aware of your whole body. On your next inhale, we're going to lift those arms and we're going to come forward with a swan dive or whatever way forward you choose, holding that forward fold for a few breaths, stretching. Halfway lift, extend. And then we're going to take our hands to the floor, step our left leg back, finding our runner's lunge, holding steady at that runner's lunge or taking a stretch, checking in with your body. Finding your balance, finding your strength, we're going to lift up to a high lunge, hands at heart center. So we lift the spine, we check that knee over the ankle, we check the back leg extension, heel lifted, and we breathe. Let's add a twist, taking our left hand down to the floor. We're going to open to the right, stack our arms, take a big stretch. You can always lower the knee, the left knee if you choose. And then we're going to bring that right hand down and rock it forward, forward fold again. Stretching here. Halfway lift, extend. Hands to the floor, right leg goes back this time. Runner's lunge, moving it around so it feels good to you, getting your stretch. Finding that balance position, your strength. Pull it up, high lunge when you're ready. Checking that position on this side. Back leg strong and straight, heel lifted, spine lifted. So we're going to take our twist to the left, lowering our right hand to the inside of that left foot. You can lower that right knee down if you choose. And then left hand comes down and we step back, plank, any level. Shoulders over wrists. If you're in full plank, legs extended, waking up the backs of the legs, pressing through the heels, finding that balance. If you want to take those knees down, just make sure your knees are behind the hips so you're waking up the core. Belly button pulls in towards spine. And we're going to our downward facing dog next, making it playful. Pedaling if you need to. Choosing to wake up the legs. And then if you need some back stretches, waking up your back, you can come forward into plank. Bend those knees, lift from the sitting bones and really stretch up. Wiggle it around, make it feel good. Your body, your way here. Finding your way to a down dog that is balanced. Down dog, your ears are in line with your arms, you're lifting through the sitting bones, you're lowering through the heels. Even if you need to keep a bend in your knees like I do, that's okay. We breathe. Technically, this is a resting position, so if all the weight feels like it's on your wrist, remember to bend those knees, to press up, to lift, to align, and then worry about the legs. But first, get that feeling right through the arms and back. All right, we're going to find our right leg, raise it up for a three-legged dog, press down through that left heel, take a big stretch through the back of the left leg. And then we're going to take this leg forward. Remember, you can make your own way there. You can lower the left knee or you can just swing it forward, coming all the way up, crescent lunge. Hands come down, we're going to step it back and hold another plank. Take any level. Downward facing dog, find that balance position. Breathe. We're going to raise the left leg, coming into a three-legged dog, pressing deeply through that right heel, trying to wake up the back of the right leg. And then we're going to work our left leg forward into crescent lunge, whether we lower the right knee or swing the left leg forward, coming into crescent lunge. Beautiful. Hands to the floor. Step it back to plank. This time we're going to lower all the way down. So go from your knees if you choose to, or work those elbows toward the back of the mat from your full plank, coming into any version of cobra or sphinx or up dog that you choose. 5 breaths. And then pressing up to your downward facing dog. And coming forward with a step or a hop. Front of the mat, forward fold. Putting it all together, we're going to start some sun salutations. First we go halfway up. And then you can go back down. Bend the knees and press all the way up. And coming into mountain, we're going to begin. Here we go. Do the sun salutations your way. Make your modifications any direction. Harder or easier. Here we go. Inhale up. Work your way down. Halfway lift with your breath. Taking it back. One leg or both at the same time. Up to you. Working your way down. Cobra, sphinx, or up dog. Downward facing dog. Forward with one leg or both. Halfway lift, back to the floor, again, other side. Use your breath as your guide, halfway lift. Stepping back or jumping back, lowering. Cobra, sphinx, or up dog. Downward facing dog. Left leg comes through, or both at the same time, forward fold, halfway lift, all the way up. All right, do 2 more your own way. We are going to meet at forward fold at the end of this round. So coming to forward fold, we're going to hold here. If you've got time, we'll wait for you. Taking a stretch. Go halfway lift, extend. And from here we're going to sink into a chair. Weight goes to the heels, lifting that spine, finding an arm position that works for you. Feet are hips distance apart. We're going to shift it over to the right and come either onto the left toe or lift it up, coming into one-legged chair. Balanced challenge, we're going to take it up into one-legged balance from here. And then hands come to heart center, and we're going to go to a warrior 3. Sending that left leg back, trying to level out our hips, straighten both legs. Breathe. And we're going to switch. So we put that left leg down, sink back into your chair. This time maybe choose a different arm position. We're going to bring those hands back into heart center, shift over to the left, raise up onto the right toe or into a full one-legged chair, foot off the ground. Pressing up into that balance challenge, one-legged balance. And then hands to heart center, we go back into the warrior 3, opposite side, sending that right leg back, trying to straighten it out, point the toe down. Keep the left leg straight, breathe. Right foot comes down. This time we're going to go balanced chair. So come into chair, lift up onto the balls of your feet, choose any arm position. Drop the right heel, lift the left leg. We're going warrior 3 again. Stepping back, crescent lunge. Taking it to warrior 2, spinning that back heel down. Checking in with hips and heart. The alignment of heel to arch, shoulders down away from the ears, and turning your gaze over that right arm. Can you see your first and second toe on that right leg? We're going to flip this right palm up and reverse our warrior, keeping this left palm facing away or the left palm pressing into our back so that we're keeping the left side of our chest open. Sliding it over, side angle. However deep you want to go, make sure you don't dump all of your weight onto that right leg. Trying to find and use your core strength. We're going to lift back up. 2 breaths here, reverse. 2 breaths over, side angle. 1 more of those, lift it up. And take it over. We're going to bring our hands down, flip that back heel up, rock forward, shake out that right leg if you need to. Check in with your feet. Maybe go halfway up if that extension stretch would feel good to you. And then we're going to sink back into our balanced chair, changing a different arm position, coming into something and lifting up onto the balls of our feet. Here we go, balance. Dropping the left foot down, We're gonna lift up and send our right leg back into warrior three. Step it back, crescent lunge. Take the back heel down, warrior two. Checking in hips and heart. Front knee, shoulders, gaze, right in the middle of your stance. Flipping that left palm up, we're going to reverse. Keeping the right shoulder, chest open. Right side of the chest open. Slide it over, side angle. Making that connection, elbow to knee to open the right shoulder. Choosing an arm position for your side angle. Finding your core, your strength, lift it up, reverse. Over into side angle, 2 breaths. 2 more of those. Turning your gaze down, hand to the floor, flip the back heel up, rock it forward, forward fold. Now you may need to check in with your low back, reaching for opposite elbows. You may need to bring your hands up, coming into a deeper stretch for the chest and arms. Find what works for you here, holding your forward fold for the hamstrings or adding on some other body parts. Coming up halfway. Putting a bend in the knees and taking it all the way up. Taking just a moment to grab a drink, to shake it out, to move around before we add on some more. So when you're ready, coming back to the front of the mat, checking in with the distance between your feet, your mountain pose. Gonna take time for 2 more sun salutations here, so do them your way. Here we go. Inhale up, work your way down. And use your breath to guide you. We'll meet at forward fold once again at the end of the second one. Halfway lift and then forward fold, holding, waiting for everyone to get here. So from this position, we're going to move into a standing split. So we're going to take our hands over to the right, centering it around that right foot. We're going to take our left leg behind and then lift. So we keep our hips level and squared here, not opening like we do in balancing half moon, just lifting, trying to stay squared. Keeping both legs as straight as possible, getting your chest close to that right thigh. I know mine does not look like a standing split, but this is what I've got. This is where I'm at. Adding a balance challenge here, we're going to power up into one-legged balance. Lifting up, reaching up. And then bringing it down back to our mountain. Shaking out that right foot if it needs it. Other side. So we're going to get ourselves down to a forward fold. Put our hands on either side of that left foot and step the right foot up into our standing split. Powering up into one-legged balance. Try not to lock our left hip or left knee. Maybe putting a little micro bend in it. And we release back to mountain. Adding on here, we're going to take it up, bring it down, halfway lift, step it or jump it back to your plank, holding here. Lifting up, downward facing dog. Coming into your best alignment, ears aligned with arms, back, hips, sitting bones lifting, heels lowering. We're going to find that right leg and bring it through for warrior two. And then we're going to take it to a little triangle today. So we're going to straighten that right leg. If you need a block, bring it to the outside edge of your right ankle. We will lean over and bring that hand down to the shin, to the floor, pressing our head back, opening up, trying to stack those arms. Keeping that right big toe on the mat. Holding this a little longer here to get a good stretch. And then putting a bend in that knee, hands come back down, we step back, plank. Remember, you can take any level. Lifting up, downward facing dog. We're going to find that left leg and bring it through for warrior two. Getting ready for our triangle, straighten that front leg, take it over and down, make sure that block is in place if you need it. Press the head back, stack those arms, stay in here for a few breaths. Turning your gaze over that left foot, put a bend in the knee and rock it forward, forward fold, front of the mat. halfway lift. Bend those knees. We're going to take those arms up, interlace the fingers, stretch tall, take a lean. Each way. One more time. And then we're going to work our way down to forward fold. Halfway lift. Extend. Hands to the floor. We're going to step it back to our plank. And we're going to lower all the way down to our bellies. We're going to bring the right arm in front, coming into half bow. Bending up our left leg, reaching for it with the left hand, stretching out the quad. We're going to switch. Left arm in front, right leg bends, we reach for it. Remember, you can wrap a towel around your ankle to help you if you're not able to reach your foot. And release. So we're going to come into dolphin arms here. We're actually going to do a dolphin pose. So elbows are under shoulders, palms are together, forearm is pressing into the mat. So find that comfortable position, or as comfortable as you can get that position. And then we're going to lift up. we're going to press back through the elbows, bring our head kind of into that triangle we create with our forearms, and we're going to walk our feet in. So this is a stretch for the back of the legs, trying to get those calves and Achilles and ankles. So we're pressing down through those heels, feeling that big stretch, so I can feel that in my shoulders and also down the backs of my legs. So we don't want our head way out over our hands. We want to lift up, long back like in downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, lower to your knees and swing it around to seated. I'm getting hot. Whew. All right, so we're going to do some stretches now together. Let's start with our staff pose, taking our feet out in front, hands behind. We're going to press down through those arms, open up the chest, make sure those legs are making the best connection they can with the floor, back of the legs. Toes pointing up so we're not flopping off to the side. We have totally active legs here. Then we're going to add on if you need to. If that's where you need to stay, stay there. If you want to continue adding on, just making sure that the stretch is felt in the back of your legs, not a big giant stressor for your low back. Back of the legs needs to feel the stretch here. And now we're going to take this wide, so we're keeping those legs active and straight, but we're going to sit up tall here, press down, curl back. Remember, you can stay here if this works for you, or you can add on, coming forward, just making that connection, legs to floor. Walking yourself back up, we're going to tuck this left heel in close. Check in with your left knee, make sure that feels okay. Now you have option. So the full pose is to take our hand down here and to lift this arm up over the ear and reach for the foot. I'm a long ways away, but where I want you to feel the stretch is in your lower quadrant of the left side since you're reaching to the right. If it feels better for you to take yourself and square yourself over that right leg, then I'd suggest you do it that way. Find your best stretch for back here, lower left quadrant. And then we're going to switch sides. So take that left leg out, tuck the right one in, check in with the right knee. This one is not as comfortable for me. So decide, you've got your two choices, maybe try them both, see what feels good on this side. Take your stretch. And coming back up. We're going to take the soles of the feet together, coming into a seated butterfly. You have options here. Your hands can go behind, as we've been doing in the other poses. You can maybe use your elbows a little to take those knees down toward the floor. You can come forward if you're already flat on the floor, finding your best stretch for those inner legs. Nice deep full breaths here as we stretch. Pay attention to our body. All right, let's release that. We're going to come into a seated figure four variation, so you can do whatever works for you. We're going to take our left ankle above the right knee. So maybe it's just simply sitting here. That feels good to you. Maybe you want to get into a chair now and do it that way if sitting on the floor isn't comfortable for you. But we're going to check in with this left hip. So I'm going to add on, because this is not enough for this side for me. So I'm going to go, you can cradle your baby. Or you can even add on further by taking this leg and coming into a seated pigeon, I'm going to call it. You can add a little more core to it if you want to by rocking back and having to balance, lifting that right heel off the ground. Take it as far as you need to. Active feet, pressing out through the ball of the foot. Finding your best stretch, left hip. And then we're going to switch sides. Left leg goes long. We bend that right leg up. Checking in with the right hip now. Taking it to cradle the baby if you want to go one step further, or seated figure four with balance if you want. This side, it's not so easy for me to balance, so I'm just going to take the stretch for my right hip. Nice, beautiful, and release. All right, let's work our core on the way down. So we're going to choose 3 levels of boat, and we're just going to increase the breath each time. So we're going to do 5, 6, and 7 breaths. So remember to keep the chest open, shoulders back, back as flat as you can, back of the neck, not taking on any stress here. Let's choose our first level, whatever it is for you. It can be heels down, it can be heels up. It can be even deeper than that, but let's check in with our balance. Make sure we're in a spot that we can hold. 5 breaths. Here we go. Now you can put your feet down and rest, or you can just add on, going into your 6th breath hold right from here. A little more of a challenge. Take it down and rest or hold there. And find your 7 breath challenge, whatever that is for you. I'm going to add on to the full position, trying to hang on to my toes. Usually I fall over, so we'll see. Here we go. 7 breaths. Oops, see? Not my best pose. Probably shouldn't try to demonstrate this one today, but I'd like to work on that stabilizing. Kind of funny, I'm wobbling all over the place today. All right, finishing up, let's roll onto our backs, bring those knees into our chest, make it feel good. Happy baby if that feels good to you. Let's give one last stretch for the back of the legs, the lower half of the legs, take those feet up. Flex those feet, hold. And then point and flex or point and circle, whatever feels good. Coming into another hip stretch here, we're going to come into pigeon, left ankle in front of right knee. Just 5 breaths here. And then we're going to go into a glute stretch. So you have the option to take your right leg long and use your right hand to draw the left knee over for that left glute stretch. Or you can stack your knees. The left knee would be on top. You reach down, trying to keep the knees stacked. You reach for the shin, the ankle, the foot, whatever you can reach, and we draw down and away. Two more breaths here. And release. Let's go back to happy baby. And then let's send those legs up, feet together, flexing. And then point and circle or point and flex. We're going to go to pigeon, opposite side, so it's the right ankle that comes in front. Active feet, just 5 breaths here. And choosing your glute stretch, either extending the left leg and drawing the right knee over with your left hand, or stacking those knees, reaching down to whatever you can reach, keeping the knees stacked, press down and pull down and away. Beautiful. Let's bring those knees into our chest, taking one final low back release. Let your arms come out, palms face up. Arms out like a T, knees fall to the right. Gaze is going to go slightly left. And then we're going to switch. Knees go left, gaze goes slightly right. And now we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, arms come down alongside. Make sure that the palms are facing the ceiling. That's an open position for the chest. And if you have your hands the opposite way, it's a rounding for your shoulders. We want to open up that chest. So we bring the soles of the feet together and we breathe, getting ready to finish practice here. If you have a favorite song you would like to put on for your stillness time, your Shavasana time, maybe put it on now, and then it will be really easy for you to go from this reclined butterfly right into whatever your resting position is. I encourage you to take a few moments to be still, to let your mind wander. If you can do it with music behind you, it's even better. And while you are getting settled and choosing, I am going to come back up and say thank you so much for joining me today for this morning practice. It feels good to be able to do it with you, even if it is virtual. So, have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day. Stay safe and healthy. Namaste.